Hey there, Segudo golfers. Tom Segudo here, PGA member, founder of Segudo Golf, and I'm flipping out here because I'm tired of people saying, I want to be more consistent, I want to be more consistent, and then they go out there and they don't get any more consistent because they keep on making the same old stupid habits. They're too much like Flipper the Dolphin and not enough like Smokey the Bear. What am I talking about? Exactly. You get over the ball and you come into the ball and you hit it like this. Flip, scoop, poop, scoop, magoo here. You keep flipping your hands at the ball. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Sounds like an ugly dance, it is. And that is why you're inconsistent. We're gonna fix this fatal flaw which plagues so many amateurs right now in today's episode, so please stay tuned. But before we do, subscribe to this channel if you want the best ball striking of your life, because I'm gonna help you get there in a body-friendly and simplified manner. Let's get started. If you can relate to Poop, Scoop, Magoo, you're gonna like this episode because you'll no longer be Poop, Scoop, Magoo. Poop, Scoop, Magoo is the golfer that goes back like this, comes through, flips it like this with the short arms, the T-Rex arms. We don't wanna do that. When you go through the shot, you should keep the arms nice and straight and extended. That'll be consistency all day. And here's why you have a problem with the Poop Scoop. The reason this motion doesn't work at all for you is because when you come at impact, you're really concerned about flipping or releasing your hands the wrong way. Flip your hands like this, or you're trying to roll them over at the last second. Your point of contact is right there. And when you introduce this hinge point, this at the bottom part of the swing, there's no way you could ever be consistent. Look at this. No matter if I come in here, flip my hands. Oh, I just hit behind it. What if I come into here, flip my hands? Well, I hit in front of it. What if I come over here, flip my hands? I hit behind it. There's so many different places you could have that club flip into. And that's why I'm flipping out. It could go in behind and front, maybe hit the ball. A lot of you get lucky and you play what I call functional flipping. You're all a bunch of FFers. You're functional flippers. It means you can figure out how to flip at the exact right time and manage to hit the ball and play some decent golf. I know some people out there who play some really decent golf as a functional flipper, but they'll never be good. They'll never be awesome at golf because they're always flipping at it and it's flipping out. We need to end the cycle of FFing, functional flipping, bring in a new cycle, driving the ball to the target like this. Flipping or releasing the club, as a lot of people mistakenly call this releasing the club too. They'll flip like this or they'll release their hands like this. Both do the same thing. They control the club at the bottom of the swing and cause it to go into the ground early or in front of the ball, top of the ball, many different variables. If you want one point of contact, which I promise you, if you're on YouTube looking for golf tips, you probably do, you need to do this. You need to set the impact position here, hands forward at address, and you maintain the same impact position here with the hands in front of the club at impact, with no other movements. No, 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 we're not doing that anymore, unless you want to be an FFer, which I know you don't want to be. Golf's new bad word, FFer. And this is why it works so well. There's no hinge point of this. So there's no variable. It's a controlled environment. Coming to impact like this, hands ahead. Every single time, it's gonna ground the same spot all day long. Now let me show you how effective this is. Check it out. So, no hinge point here. Look, hinge point, depending on where my hands are, it could be back here, hinge too early, hinge too late. Look at that. That's the FFers out in the world. Some of you do this extreme, some of you do this to not this extreme degree, but I just got to show the world what this is. But if you don't have that hinge point, if you're not an FFer, you have this. There's no hinge point, there's no variable. There's no variable in the hands. So this is why you can just have the club ground the same spot every time. You don't even have to look at the ball. You'll hit the ball first every time. No hinge point means I can just take it back with turning my chest, bring it through with turning my chest. I'm gonna hit the ball first every single time. Oh man, that felt good. You're gonna hit ball first no matter what you do, because it's a controlled environment here. You've set the control with the hands being forward in front of your left thigh. You bring it back, with the turning your chest to the right or away from the target. You turn it back toward the target. Hands are still ahead. No flipping, no rolling. I've got no choice but to hit it clean. You got to start simple too. If you're an FF'er, the hands must be ahead of the ball at impact, or else you will have unspeakable shots happen to you. Unspeakable things. Deadly things. You want to hit ball first every single time. The hands got to be ahead, and there's no manipulation at the bottom of the swing. So if you're tired of being an FF'er, hands forward, turn the chest, turn the chest. Nice and clean all day long. So assuming you've done a few of these, hands forward, keep the hands forward, turn your chest, hitting the ball first. You're doing that consistently, you're taking a divot in front of the ball. Time to move up to the next step because you're still a functional flipper at this point. We haven't eliminated the FF syndrome from you yet. That's a good start. We've got a great start. We need to kick it up a notch. And one of the reasons a lot of you deal with this FF syndrome is because you're taught to release your hands like this, which, by the way, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard because the club face rolls a whole mile and a half when you roll your hands. It doesn't even do anything for your golf swing. If you want to have any chance of being consistent, you got to know where the club face is, and rolling your hands aggressively over, there's no way to know where the club face is. The club face is the start direction of the golf ball. So you've been living a lie your whole life if you think it's anything else than that. So we got to get into this, and you got to set up over the ball with your hands forward, and we're going to just simply bring it back further. And we're going to do something called a hockey swing, and it's like a flying wedge. It's called a flying wedge technically. You see this right hand, this trail hand? There's a wedge in it here formed when I set up to the ball. That wedge needs to be maintained from setup, slight wedge here, from setup all the way through, increasing the angle of the wedge to here. If you can do that, that will tell you there's been no manipulation of the hands at the bottom of the swing, which is good. No flipping, no FFing. Are you FFing kidding me? You'd never do that again. And then on the way through, you'll see your arms staying straighter. 2 big checkpoints. So we get over the shot, and we're focusing on the wedge in the trail hand between here and here. You're going to hit shots maintaining that wedge. Here we go. I start with my wedge. I'm going to maintain the wedge. It's a 3/4 half swing type of thing, finishing here with a very abbreviated wedged fall through. We're not going full. We're going to keep the wedge. Keep the wedge. That's all you got to focus on, keeping the wedge. You should see the arm staying much straighter on the way through than what you're accustomed to because you're not flipping, you're not wasting all that motion at the bottom of the swing. Here we go again. Stop FFing right now. Keep the wedge. Bring the wedge through impact. You're going to hit it clean every time because there's no variables. I mean, assuming you're not shifting all over the place. No variables. Wedge maintained. This is just beautiful. You're going to get this. You'll never be an FF'er ever again. And there's something that you might see with the shaft of the club when somebody's swinging really fast. You'll see the shaft back bend a little bit. That's normal because the shaft is bending when it's going at a high rate of speed. So it can sometimes give the appearance that somebody's flipping, but it's not true. Like the shaft starts bending this way, but it's actually just whipping through there. The hands are still ahead. Check where the hands are, not where the shaft is, and make sure the arms are straight. Here we go again. Maintaining the wedge in the right arm, right hand, between the wrist and the hand right there. So start off with my wedge. Maintain the wedge. If you can do this, you'll hit it clean the rest of your life. There's the wedge. I can see it. Beautiful. I desperately want all the golfers out there who've been struggling for the past 20 or 30 years or longer to understand that there's a different way to do things, and it doesn't involve so much suffering. It doesn't even involve it's just gonna feel very different. Of course it's gonna feel different. You've been functional, you've been poop scoop Magoo for I don't know how long. Poop scoop, poop scoop. You haven't been consistent for that long. So we're gonna make a change. It's gonna feel very weird. That's okay. It should feel weird. Wrist angle right here. Maintain the angle. There's the angle. Maintained. That's a winner. Segudo golfers, the key to consistency lies in becoming another person, not an FF'er. It lies in the wedge. The wedge. This right here. Maintaining the wedge throughout the impact zone. All the way through with the arm staying straight. That's what it looks like on a horizontal level. Boom. There's the wedge. Boom. This is the flipper. You want to just have this seizure through impact. Ugh. It's so ugly. You got to keep the wedge. Keep the wedge right there. Boom. Boom. Through impact. And you'll have a glorious day. So thanks for tuning in tonight. And if you're an FF'er, I want you to freaking flip and flop and stop that stuff, because it's going to destroy your golf game, and golf equals life, so it's going to destroy your life too. I want you having more fun. I want you to be a Segudo golfer. So stops today by introducing the wedge in the right hand wrist area. So Segudo golfers, thanks for tuning in this evening. And if you're looking for a way to play your best golf right now, check out my website, segudo.golf, where I'll show you in a simplified learning program how to take your swing from foundation to finish in short 3 to 5 minute videos. It's really that simple. It's been helping golfers all over the world. Doesn't matter where you're at. If you got an internet connection, you can learn this stuff. So, thanks again for tuning in, and please subscribe if you like hitting awesome golf shots. I'll see you in a future episode. Have a rockin' week.